Hi besties, welcome to Caddy's Alloy. Thank you for subscribing. And if you are new here, you're in the right place to be. Please click on the subscribe button, like and comment below. So in today's class, I'll be taking you through how to draft a basic sleeve. So to draft a basic sleeve, we'll be using 5 measurements. So we'll be using arm length, that is the length of the sleeve, the top arm measurement, that is the bicep, the elbow length from your tip of the shoulder to the elbow width, that is the breadth of the elbow, and the wrist circumference. Before we start drafting, I'm going to show you how to take a wrist measurement. So to measure your sleeve measurement, you're going to place your tip at the tip of the shoulder, that is the shoulder point, down to the wrists, and this is where you stop at that socket part, at that bony part. So this is how you stop. Well, if you want to measure the length, it is advisable to bend your elbow for it, especially if you want to sew fitted sleeve. You bend it like this, place your tip here, then drag it to the elbow, down like this. This is to ensure he's at the elbow part. Then you drag it. It is better you allow someone to measure you. So this is 22. So the length of my sleeve is 22. So the arm length for the bicep, that is the top arm, the bicep is the fullest part or the biggest part of the arm. It is directly under the armhole. You're going to place your tip immediately after the armhole, like this. This is the biggest part of my hand. So I'm going to drag it along. I'm going to make sure at least a finger can enter through the tape. The reason why, to ensure is, you can see how it's moving freely. This is how you measure your bicep. And for the elbow length, you're going to place your tape at the tip of the shoulder down to your elbow. This is your elbow, so down to the elbow. My elbow length is 11, you can see. So for the elbow width, you're going to place your tape around your elbow. You're going to place your tape around your elbow, then drag. Make sure you drag to ensure his. So see, at least I can insert a finger. So this is it. For the wrist circumference, you're going to place the tape at the wrist part, which this part, this boning part. You're going to place the tape on it, then also drag. Just drag a bit to ensure his, that you don't end up having your sleeve torn. Okay. Mine is 6. Welcome back, besties. Let's move on to drag our basic sleeve. So before we continue, at the measurements we are going to be, sleeve length is going to be 22. Our top arm or bicep is 12. Our elbow length is 11. Elbow width is 10. Then our wrist circumference is 6. So another thing we'll be needing is the armhole measurement. Armhole measurement is 15. So these are the 6 measurements we'll be needing: the sleeve length, the top arm or bicep, the elbow length, the width, the wrist circumference, and lastly the armhole. I'm going to start by indicating the starting point. That is, I'm going to draw a line to indicate the starting point. So this is the line. And before that, I folded my pattern paper into two. It's in 2 folds. So this is how I'm going to do it. So after the starting point, the next thing is to indicate my measurement. So there are things you need to put in place before drafting your sleeve pattern. So number one is, make sure that you add 2 inches extra to the length of your sleeve, and make sure you add 2 inches extra to the width of your sleeve. So my actual sleeve length is 22. So I'm going to take the length 22. You can see this is 24. So the length of this pattern paper is 24. My sleeve measurement is 22. So I added 2 inches extra. Same thing as the width. So to determine the width, I'll be using the biggest part of my arm, which is the top arm or the bicep, to determine it. My bicep is 12. 12 divided by 2, that's 6. If I had extra 2 inches to 6, that's 8. So you can see this is even more than 8. So let's start by indicating the lines. So I'm going to start by indicating my top arm measurement or the bicep. So to determine the bicep, if you place your tape directly on your shoulder point, then measure down. You're going to take up to like 4 inches. Then that point is where your bicep is. So I'm going to take 4 inches down to indicate my top arm measurement. That is the biggest part of my arm. So from your shoulder point down to the bicep is 4 inches. Then to my elbow length is 11, so I'll be taking 11 inches. See? Then to my wrist, which is 22. I'll also note that down. So the next thing for me to do is to draw the line to indicate the lines. I'm going to rule on it. Okay. So I'm going to rule on it also to indicate. And I'm also going to rule on the sleeve length. So I'm going to indicate that this is my starting point. And this is my top arm or bicep. This is the elbow part. And this is the wrist. So I've indicated my line. So we'll be calculating some parts. Determine the width of my sleeve. So I'll be using my bicep, which is 12. 12 plus 2 inches. That is the 2 inches extra I added. So 12 plus 2 inches extra divided by 2. That is, since the sleeve is unfold, I'm going to divide the value by 2. This 12 is not constant. I'm just using this measurement as an example. So it can be 15, it can be 14, it can be 11. Depends on what you measure. So I'll be using 12. 12 plus 2, that's 14. 14 divided by 2 will be 7. So the wideness of my sleeve is going to be 7. So I'm going to take 7 inches on the bicep or the top arm. So I'm going to take 7 inches and I'm going to mark it down. I'm going to take 7 inches. Okay. So this is my bicep. This is the wideness, the width of the sleeve. So I'll move to the maximum part. So for this part, this is the maximum part of the sleeve. Calculate that part. Like I mentioned earlier, I said we'll be adding 2 inches extra for the length of the sleeve and 2 inches extra to the width of the sleeve, that is the bicep. So the bicep is 12. 12 plus 2. 12 plus 2 is 14. So that 14, we're going to divide that 14 by 4, which is going to give us 14 by 4 is 3.5. So our value is 3.5. So I'm going to take my tape and place it here on the starting point. Then I'm going to note down the 3.5 inches. You can see, assuming your bicep is 15, for example, plus 2, that will be 17. 17 divided by 4 is going to give you the value of here. So this is 3.5. Then from there, place my ruler and draw a straight line to reach this point. I'll start from here, on the tip of the shoulder, on the tip of the sleeve, then drag it down. Can see? So I'm going to measure my armhole measurement. And what is my armhole measurement? My armhole measurement is 15. 15 divided by 2, that's 7. So I'm going to place my tape and measure 7.5. This is 7.5. Okay, so I'm going to be adding extra 2 inches to this too. So okay, this is 1, this is extra 2 inches, that will be 9.5. So I'm going to mark down 9.5. So what is the half of 9.5? Half of 9.5 is going to be around 3.75. So this is the half of this. So for this side, I'm going to come up by 0.18, which is this. Then for the down part, this side, I'm going to come down by 0.18. So from there, I'm going to draw a curvy line to meet the middle point. So on this part, I'll make sure I smooth it down. I'll be making use of my French curve also. I'll ensure I place it. So I'm going to blend it. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take my measurements. So for the bicep, for every measurement, I'm going to add 2 inches, which is 14. That's 7. 7 plus sewing allowance. I'll add 2 inches sewing allowance. So that will be 9. I'm going to note down my 9. So on the elbow part, my elbow width is 10 divided by 2. That's 5. So I'll be adding his. I'll add ½ inch for his. Then I'm going to add 2 inches extra for the sewing allowance, and that will be 7.5. So I'll note down the 7.5. Then I'll move down to my wrist. My wrist is 6 inches. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. Plus extra ½ inch, that's 3.5. So plus my 2 inches allowance, that will be 5.5. This is double width, which is 5.5 plus 5 inches plus is, that's 5.5. Then on my bicep is 7 plus 2 inches extra for sewing allowance, so makes it 9. So the next thing I'm going to do is to join the points. Please consider that. So this is my sleeve. So the next thing for me to do is to cut it out. Okay. So this is my sleeve. This is the extra 2 inches I added. And this is the uppermost part of the sleeve, and this is the down part of the sleeve. So this is my sleeve. You can see it's very simple. So you can try this out. Please click on subscribe button, comment and like, share to your friends. See you in the next class. Bye.